Oh man, always forget, or I don't always forget. I had forgotten since the last time we've done this that you'll get like comments in YouTube, won't you?
Yeah, yeah,
That really, for me, enhances rewatchability because I can go back and see what people are. God, it's so fun.
yeah.
I love how they make that look too, like on
Man, we're
the
live.
sidebar thing. We're
Yeah,
live.
yeah. Sorry,
We're live.
we're live, dog. I'm just gonna go ahead
Yeah,
and hit.
I barely feel alive, but
Yeah,
that's okay. I feel about like that Sauron goo. That's what I feel like.
that's what I feel
Hash,
like. Okay.
hey, hashtag ignore the lore.
Hold on. Let me see. I'm still running the tail. Let me see if I can go to YouTube, so if I can actually hear us. I would hate to do
So
20 minutes
I'm
of
gonna
like
pitch
blah.
while you're doing that. I'm gonna pitch this T-shirt idea, guys. I'm thinking about doing a Amazon presents the Shilmarillion coming before you do, and then on the back I'm gonna put hashtag ignore the lore.
Wow.
I might literally wear it around too. And like,
Okay, it works.
oh whoa,
That was cool.
what? That's pretty cool. Eh?
That's some.
Hashtag ignore the lore. Might even put on the back. Might even put good guy Sauron.
Yeah.
Good guy Sauron.
Okay, dude.
Yeah,
There we
yeah,
go. Okay, now what I
yeah.
can do is I can play this Jake stuff, and then we can hit a
Oh,
little
sweet.
intro,
Okay.
get this going, and then people will see
Yeah,
that
yeah,
the lines are open here in a second. But we'll play this first. That way, I get this out of the not out of the way, but you know what I'm saying. I want to get this as a
yeah.
technical
Well, it
thing.
frees up the line, doesn't it? Too. It frees up the
Yeah.
line. So yeah.
Okay. Let me see. We got everybody. We got a few folks pouring in here. We're recording on the Zoom, which is the most important thing for the actual
Yeah.
podcast. Then the live is just to let everybody know, hello, we're here, kind of cool thing.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, doggy, here we go. Let's go ahead and hit an intro, and then I got this already play. I get the laptop in front of me where I can just hit play on these bad boys. So
Sweet, dude. Sweet.
Sweet baby. Sorry, I'm literally like, I don't even know what's going on. Okay. Hello, friends, and welcome to an unexpected freaking podcast. I'm Ez.
And I'm Lane.
And friends, we're back with the Hobbit, hottie, hot, Hobbit
Yeah.
hotline. Okay. Dude, I'm on a different juice. I don't know about you, but I mean, I'm just.
I think. Well, I think here's what happened. I think the Valar of Amazon, they have like, I think they've rewarded your kindness with like this this high frequency energy that's going on
Yeah.
that allows you to go into the, even though you were using your powers to kind of, I don't think you, without malicious intent.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were just doing it to bring clarity to the universe in your standalone episode.
So
I think they rewarded you with some kind of fruits. And I think what they
yeah.
did to me is, I think when I ordered that copy of the Tales of Tom Bombadil, I think they laced it with some sort of viral infection. I think maybe,
Yep.
you know, those quote unquote gifts you sent me, which is a very Anatar thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe they had some sort of virus on them. I don't know if you knew about it. That would be very Tolkienian, I guess. Like maybe you did know it, like the Celebrimbor, you're giving these gifts, but unbeknownst to you, like they're laced with something that's gonna try to kill me. But yeah, when they said darkness was spreading, I didn't think that's what they meant, man. I thought it would be like kind of, I thought it was like the show only, not real life. So
everywhere, the darkness
everywhere.
is spreading everywhere, and it's here. It's in our own.
It's in our midst.
It's in our midst, and I don't even know anymore whether. I tell you what. We're. I just don't even know anymore. You know, really.
It's hard. It's hard to know.
It's hard to know.
Your therapy session was unreal, by the way, too. Like I listened to it because I was literally laid up for about 3 hours.
Dude, bless you.
Just feeling like, and then I mean, bless Goldberry because she's the one who just
magicked you.
Dude, I don't. Dude, she just says, she's like, "You're go lay down." And I'm like resisting it because I want to be able to help because I know like 4 kids, 1 parent. That's a mismatch for the ages, baby. That's like like one Dark Lord and all the orcs. I guess apparently, according to Amazon, all the orcs against you. And just kidding. My kids are not orcs.
Well, I was gonna say, so
what a terrible analogy.
Did you just call her a Dar? Did you just call her the what a Darian? Did you just call her the mother?
Lord Mother.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No.
That's funny.
I mean, there are orc babies now. We've seen that, so
Right.
I hope Seth calls in just to talk about orc babies.
Are you gonna dress your kids up this Halloween?
Oh my god,
as
dude.
orc
I could
babies.
be Adar. Sarah
Oh
could be
my.
the orc mom, and we could just say we're just looking for a home.
Oh
to
gosh.
find freedom. We
Just
don't
a
want
few.
Sauron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Thank
a few
you,
clouds,
Waldreg.
man. God.
Just a few clouds.
Dude, yeah,
Provide
you know what you
shade.
could do? You could get a little tombstone out there that says R.I.P. Waldreg. You know what I mean? Just put it in your front yard. Oh, in memory.
Oh, shoot, dude.
Gosh, dang, unbelievable.
No,
Okay,
it's a beautiful night here on the Shire, man. It's cool
yeah.
and sitting out around the fire, and it's doing something for my soul. So I'm glad to be talking to you and hearing from everybody. So
we already have one comment over on the live. By the way, it says,
let's go.
"Be positive, please."
Okay.
So, Stanley, thanks for the comment. I am checking these bad boys. I see Steven over here. Let's go. So we do have comments pouring in. Lane can't see those. Why? Because he's a mad dog, and
in the
darkness, and I gotta keep him at bay. I mean, wow. Full circle there with the show. Mad dog in the shadows, coming after Waldreg. Okay, we have you sent me some audio, right?
Yes, Jake Hodgson.
Yep.
Couldn't be in. He couldn't call in because he lives in London, obviously. So he'll be asleep. And yeah, you want us.
Holy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hey, my man.
Hey, man, got what? He's actually here live. Zero editing on this podcast. That's like a new New Year's resolution for me, which is just no edit podcast. Sorry, it's like getting old, man. I just can't do it.
He's got the time.
Wait, I mean, I don't even. Are these episodes we're watching edited anyways? So were the scripts edited?
Oh, I don't think so.
Who
I think it streams it.
Somebody's like, again, that instantly, as soon as you say something, be positive.
Okay.
I hope we get spammed with
even
the
if we lie, though. Even if we lie, Stanley, is that what? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Tino, what's up? We got Tino in here.
What's up, Tino?
What's up, fools? He said. All right. Here we go. Now, this is going to be a little odd for people on the YouTube, but I'm going to go put this in post later on, like post with Posty, like Post Malone. I'm going to Post Malone it. Yeah. It's going to be full circle. Playlist. I'm going to bring it, in the post production. So this is Jake here. Go ahead and play this for you guys, and we got a couple minutes. Just sit back, relax. We're going to listen to this. I've heard the first 4 minutes, but I haven't heard the second. So here we go.
Easy, guys. It is Jake Hodgson here. I'm calling into the Hobbit Hotline to give you my thoughts so far on season 2. Would have been nice to call into the actual one, but time difference means I'll be fast asleep. So I'm going to try and keep this quick because I know you'll have lots of people calling in as well. Episode 1, I hated. Well, just to preface this with the fact that I thought season 1 was a complete pile of garbage. But I hated the first episode, and then I really liked the second episode. Third episode I thought was okay, but it's given me a sort of glimmer of hope. So I'll just run through the negatives I've got so far, and then the positives. So negatives, I didn't like Sauron's venom goo sludge monster mode. I personally think a lot of those things that are left unseen, it leaves more to the imagination, which can be kind of more scary sometimes. I thought the Sauron flashback was way too long. It was cool to see him in another form and the bits we hadn't seen, but 15 minutes of him just getting from Halbrand form to meet Galadriel, it's we learned nothing, and it was just kind of pointless. I thought, or they could have done it a lot quicker. I still think the Numenor stuff is kind of boring, but we'll wait to see. I guess it's kind of exciting that Farazon is coming in now. I don't like the jammed in Lord of the Rings lines. I find them very, very kind of, remember this is the thing you love. This is Lord of the Rings. Remember, it's Lord of the Rings. I don't mind one here or there, but there were 4 or 5 in the first 2 episodes. It was you know, Nori being like, we're lost, we're going in circles, and then like her saying like, I thought I'd lost you, and then Elrond being like, the rings must be destroyed. There were just loads, and I just thought it was unnecessary. I didn't like the, I guess, Haradrim, the rune guys. I think they look like, I don't think the costumes are appropriate for Lord of the Rings. It looks very Star Wars. They look like the like Tusken Raiders, which I don't think works. It's like too techy. I still don't like Galadriel. I just don't like her character. I just don't like the way she's being directed to act. I just find it really jarring and very unlikable. I think it would have been better if they had her, maybe elements of her like that, but then elements where she's like the one we know from Lord of the Rings. And I don't like the guessing game. Obviously, there was that with the Stranger in season 1 and Sauron. But I don't like they're doing it with this new wizard now. It's like just tell us who he is. It's kind of eye rolling at the moment. It's like, oh, there's another wizard, but oh, it's another guessing game. Who is he? So it's got to the point where I don't actually care who it is anymore. Like it's like the boy who cried wolf. Like when you actually tell me, I don't care anymore because you've dragged it out for too long. Right, positives. It obviously looks amazing. Music is obviously amazing. Those are still things from the first season that I thought were great. I love Durin and the dwarves. I really, really like the relationship with his father. That they're both too stubborn to like apologize to each other. I find it very compelling, very relatable, very like just great character development.
Oh yeah, okay, we got it up there. We'll roll into the second bit here. Let me get it right up here, queued. Here we go.
That cut off. I love Círdan. I think he's a really good actor, and he looks great. I like the new wizard, although we don't know who he is, but I think it'd be really cool if he is one of the blue wizards. That'd be really cool to see them portrayed on screen. I think I'll find it quite cliche and it won't make sense in the lore if he's in Rune and he's acting like against other Istari. I don't quite know the lore on that too well. But the thing that really turned it around for me was the Anatar reveal. I thought it was absolutely like amazing. Like I honestly, it gave me goosebumps. Like I think they did it so perfectly. Minus the like thunder opening the shutters. I thought that was a bit kind of cliche horror film, but I just thought it was amazing. The way he's like he's just so manipulative and so deceptive and like so slick with it. I think Charlie Vickers is great. I didn't really like him as Halbrand. I don't think he got the northern accent quite down, but I love him as Anatar. And basically, I think with Celebrimbor, I think they made Celebrimbor look dumb in the first season by having Halbrand suggest these like new ways of smithing that he like would have obviously known. That made him look dumb. But I think in this season, I think him being so easily deceived by Sauron doesn't show that he's dumb, but shows how powerful Sauron is and exactly what Gil-galad said in one of the episodes, that once he gets into your mind, you can sculpt your thoughts. So like he's already spent time with Celebrimbor, and I just honestly, the whole thing with him coming out of the forge and it looked like heaven. It was like a Renaissance painting of heaven with him just in the middle with his arms out, like pure angelic being, but he's like completely evil. I just thought it was like amazing. And I'm also really enjoying the fact that it's a lot darker. I'm really liking all the orcs and like all the stabbing of Sauron in the beginning, and then I'm really hoping with that it is a lot darker. And it seems that I also love that they're going a lot more lore based, like all the Anatar stuff. That's it's exactly to the lore. Spoiler warning for the lore and for future episodes if anyone's listening. I really hope they show like the sack of Eregion and Celebrimbor being like shoved on a pike and shot with arrows. Like that would just be, obviously it'll be sad to see him die, but like that would just be really cool. So yeah, to sum up, as much like literal pure hatred I had for the first season, and how badly written it was, I don't think the second season so far is amazing, but I think it's definitely improved. And if anything, like, because the one thing I really loved was the Anatar reveal, and if anything, I've kind of just decided, like, fuck it, I'm actually just gonna try and enjoy. I'm just gonna like choose to enjoy, unless it gets awful. I'm gonna choose to enjoy it and just think, right, I'll leave some bits. I don't like the like stranger plot line and all the half-bits and all that crap. But like, I might just pick and choose bits. Like, okay, I'll forget the rest. I'll remember the Celebrimbor and Anatar scenes, and like leave it at that. So yeah, that's my sum up. Sorry, that's gone way over the amount of time that I thought it would. But yeah, got me on a rant. Hope you guys are well. Lots of love. Excited to hear the episode and everyone else's thoughts. And yeah, lots of love to everyone else who's watching the show, and I hope everyone enjoys it.
All right. Well,
yeah, baby. Love you, Jake. Love you, man.
Cool. That is awesome, Jake. Thank you so much. And I got to say, you care if I jump in here first?
You jump in. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I got to say, this is exactly why we do the show, because it is really cool to see different perspectives and to hear from all of you guys. And I got the Anatar stuff is cool. I actually agree. The reveal of him showing up looks sick. And I think when we were looking at the trailer back before all of this, came out, this back in the summer, I kind of, when I was going through all different my therapy sessions and stuff, I said, man, I wish they would have just started with Anatar. I wish they would have just started with that. And I think I would have been a lot better, because I think in my original mind, I was thinking that's how this thing should start. Like, this guy shows up, and who cares if we all know who he is? Not a big deal. And I don't think you need to trick the people who know the lore and then also trick everybody else. You're trying to do too much there. But I thought this was, I think he's right. That is a very beautiful scene. So I like it. I love Jake's mindset too. It honestly reminds me of what you said at the end of your standalone episode you just released last night today. Because I mean, and we'll get to hear probably what people like about the show. We'll also get to hear what people dislike about the show. We'll get to hear gripes. We'll get to hear glories, Yeah. And at the end of the day, I think that's the only mindset you can really have. I mean, I don't know that. I mean, you like to think that maybe your opinions and your critiques and stuff are gonna have some kind of like impact on the show, but in reality, they're not going to. I mean, even if they were like showrunners in a production that were open to like feedback from fans, which I think, for good or ill, this group of executives and showrunners and stuff they are not open to that. So I think what you have to do is what Jake said, and like what you said at the end of your therapy session. And what I feel inspired by both of you, that you kind of have to like look for it's not going to be what we want. Like it's not going to be what we want. And we can, for a month, feel miserable and complain. Now it doesn't mean we can't make fun of stuff when it's like, oh my gosh, really? Like, like you have this beautiful scene with Anatar, but then like you have him say, I'm the Lord of the Rings. Like, what the heck? So we can still like poke fun at elements and enjoy other elements, but I think that's the only like at least for me anyway, bearable mindset going forward. So I think again, we've talked about like almost every point that he brought up, the regurgitated dialogue, and then like
shining spotlights, like the that it's a little bit darker. That we got D4, who's just a solid character. We've got the reveal of Anatar, which was this like visual spectacle. So yeah, I think that's what you got to do. I think that's fitting that Jake comes first, because he literally didn't say he loved everything. He pointed out a lot of things he did not like, but he said, you know what, I'm gonna find an enjoyable way forward with this, and I'm gonna see it for what it is. Like you said, you almost have to kind of see it as, there's Tolkien's lore, and then there's this show lore, and it's not like an endorsement trying to find elements that you like moving forward. It's just a way to try and enjoy the experience, right? So yeah, no, I think that was brilliantly articulated by Jake and by you too, man. So no, to echo everything you said. Yeah. Thanks, Jake, for leading us off, baby. That's a triple right off the bat, bottom or top of the first inning, first pitch. Bang, boy.
Bang,
yeah.
Bang.
Yeah.
It's good, because that is, we want the good, we want the bad, and there are it feels wrong. That's why I did the whole last episode, to just sort of be like, man, this thing is absolute, like it's as trashy as that Sauron swamp thing that was rolling around. I mean, just to think of the whole thing like that, it's like, man, I got to find something. You have to find something to hold on to, because
something.
for me, Celebrimbor is still just characterized in a way that I don't necessarily like, but I did like that reveal, and I think that it's hard to get over maybe something like an earlier misstep where you thought, man, they really duped him. That seems really dumb. It seems really, whatever. And then there's the mischaracterization of Gladriel and stuff, and you're like, okay, that's hard to swallow. And he mentioned that, and so you have to get over those things and say, what do I like? And I think actually a lot of us say when we're forced to, like, I think I could be wrong, but feels like I'm hearing a lot of folks say, like, hey, the dwarves are done really well. Khazad-dûm seems pretty cool for everybody. D3 and D4 seems to be a hit with folks, and the stranger is intriguing. And I think then it's kind of like, all right, let's see what else you guys are gonna what's gonna happen from there. I don't think we all kind of, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I don't have a lot of positives to say about Galadriel, and not because of the acting, not because of the actress or anything at all, but it's just it's the creative choices, and the same thing with Celebrimbor.
The story. Yeah. I think also too, you can kind of shift, like, one more thing. Then we have a caller.
Yeah, well, I think we have a voicemail that I'm going to try to play here.
Oh, sweet.
And I'm not sure if the calls are coming through. That's another problem. So I'm like,
I was just gonna say one thing too that it can do is you can help you shift your focus too. Like, whereas before I was super stoked for Elendil and Isildur and seeing the Númenóreans, and now I'm like, I'm kind of rooting for Sauron. And I also don't like, I mean, I don't know as much about Celebrimbor as you, but I know that he's not supposed to be represented the way he is in the show. And so I'm kind of like looking forward to seeing him get slaughtered. I don't know if it's bad, but I mean, that's something to look forward to. I'm rooting for the bad guys. I want that baby orc to make it, dude.
Right.
I want that baby orc to see, a future that's dark for a while, because he'll get that, she'll get that, they'll get that, whatever. So,
right. Yeah. I
down, baby.
It's odd to think that there's like this, that we're rooting for the orcs, so we're rooting for Sauron, and I'm hoping that baby's okay.
Mission accomplished for Simon Tolkien. He got what he wanted.
Right.
Walter White as Sauron. So let's go. I'm in. Breaking really bad. I don't know.
Right. So I got Tino over here. He says call cannot be completed as dialed. That's what they're getting.
Oh no! Did I give the wrong? Dude, did we do the wrong number?
Well, let me check.
Oh god,
that'd be bad, right? I mean, it's possible. Let me see if this voicemail works though. Oh, it's just going right to voicemail. Folks are saying that's weird.
No. Oh,
dude,
is this an Amazon interference? You think this is
a
long? I've got conspiracies, dude. Celebrimbor's like, they shall get no rings.
God,
no rings, be they, because of how they're talking about me. They're not going to get a ring on the celly. They're not going to get a ring on the hotline.
There we go. Look at there. It says do not disturb was turned. Do not disturb was turned on.
Who did that, Ez?
I don't know.
Is Google owned by Amazon?
I'm telling you, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. So if anybody could try, maybe Tino, somebody wants to give it another ring. What is our number? Like I give it out to you once, and I'm like, I don't even remember.
Give me a second. I know I had it memerized for like 5 seconds.
I know it's 3434 there at the end, and it's a 614.
I know that's
what's them three little numbers?
614 569.
569. Let me put it down here in the chat.
3434.
All right, 614.
Call us now
5.
with your reaction.
Boom! Here we go. It is where. Okay, it was that thing. Here we go. Let me answer this here and merge this call.
Go, baby.
You have got to be kidding me. Hold on. How do you just do like the regular iPhone? This is blowing my mind. It's got 15 different things to Bluetooth to. You gotta be joshing me right now. How? Yeah, I'm sweating right now because it's not working. You can ask it. See,
Is
now
your dongle dry?
Oh, headphones. It's technically headphones.
Okay.
That is wild, man. Let's try one more time here. Let's see what we get. God, it just defaults to that. That's terrible.
Press 1. To send a voicemail,
Can you hear that now?
press 2.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hello?
Oh, hello. There we go. First caller.
Okay, I'm on.
Steve.
Hey, it's Tino. This is Tino.
Tino, what's up,
Tino!
baby?
Hey, what's up? Hey, I gotta admit the call can't complete it. That was user error. That's my fault. I was putting in the wrong number.
God,
wow,
Tino.
dude.
Okay. All right.
Scared me, man.
Wait,
Happy
raise
birthday,
the alarm, bro. What did you say?
Happy birthday, Lane.
Happy belated birthday to you, my friend. Yes, birthday brothers.
Did you remember to renew your tags?
My tags
Son of
for
a...
my car?
Yeah, do you remember to renew your tags for your car?
Oh,
Is it like
your birthday?
Yeah, you do it on your birthday, bro.
Yeah, oh, we have to do it. Is that a Michigan thing?
That's an Ohio thing, too. That's an Ohio thing.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you had to do it.
Our tags are tied to our, like, when we get our car. So I was late on that, but it was not tied to my birthday. That's a Michigan thing, baby.
That's dude. Mine are tied to my birthday.
Oh.
Okay, well, maybe I'm cheating the system. I don't know. If I'm gonna check in that tomorrow. I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, Late's got an expired tags. He's gonna get pulled over tomorrow. So,
Hey, just letting you know. Heads up.
God, hey, Tino, when you called in, I don't know if you know, I run like a starship over here, as you know, the Star Wars stuff. I have like, I don't know, 3 computers, a couple headsets, and like the audio is like connecting to 15 different things. So I don't know if that was you or somebody else that we had. Yeah. We were pulling around there, but that was bad. So thanks for calling in, brother. How you been, man?
I'm good. How y'all been?
Doing good, brother. It's good hearing your voice, man.
Yeah.
What we want to hear what you're thinking of the show. What are you thinking of season 2, my dog?
Season 2. Okay. First off, season 1's biggest problem was that everybody was asking who is Sauron and not how is Sauron. You know, that
was he's bringing that positive energy. Holy God, that's unbelievable.
Could have all been avoided if somebody was just like, "How are you, man? Like, what's going on, really?" No. No, it feels. I'm enjoying the current season so far, but it does feel like a course correction. You can kind of feel it. They're trying to, fix some of the mistakes they made and try to delve deeper into the actual lore of Tolkien, into their own lore, which is something that I feel like has been kind of going on in season 1. Like the whole thing was the Mithril. Like I keep going back to that. Like they just totally made up their own backstory for how the rings are made with the Mithril. And that kind of bothered me. But yeah, so it does feel like a course correction, but like I think Ed said it like in your first review of the episodes, was like they're trying to correct some things, but they already made the choices they made.
Yeah. And
so they kind of have to build off that. So like feels like a course correction, but you can still feel the weight of season 1. And I was kind of like wondering, like, as I was listening to what you guys had said about it, and I'm like, is it because is the thing bothering us so much is because we know so much about the lore?
Yeah.
We're just so heavy into it. And so I asked my wife, who had like never read the books or the Silmarillion or anything, I was like, how are you enjoying the show? And she's like, I love it. I love what's happening on the show.
There you go.
So I was like, okay, maybe it's just because I've read. I was like, maybe I'm just, because I've read. I know too much. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you? I mean, you guys have already talked like at length about how you feel about it, but like, is there anything that you like actually like are liking about it, or what are you trying to like find positive things?
I like that question. If I can lead off real quick, I like that question that you asked your wife, because I think to myself, I don't know that I can ever separate, like look at the show objectively, especially, and it only gets worse the more you actually do dive into the lore and the more you do see the changes. And so my question has always been, I'm like, I don't even know if this is good to like someone stumbles upon, oh, Rings of Power, okay, cool, what's this now? All right, and you tune in, you're like, man, I like this Halbrand boy. He's pretty nice. And then you get going, you're like, he's the bad guy? Dang, I thought we were going to get an intimate scene here. So I'm saying, I don't know, like, and I just made that person sound like a hillbilly. That's my inner, that is really me. I wasn't not accusing anyone. Or that might have been Ez, actually.
Yeah, you were conjuring me right there, buddy.
But that's as if they never left Kentucky. Oh, sorry. But that's an inside joke. But yeah. So I mean, like to hear like your wife say, "No, I'm enjoying it." I know that Lottie has enjoyed it as well, as it's told me about students who have liked it as well. So I mean, I think that's something important to remember. Like at the end of the day, it's a TV show, right? And my only caveat to that, no, it's not that serious. It's a freaking TV show. The only caveat to that is like, is the opposite not true? Like if you would have made a show that stuck closer to Tolkien's lore, would you not have had like both groups of people liking it? Like if you would have tried to stick a little, because I don't think that's true. I don't think it's like, well, they lost the people who love Tolkien, but they gained everyone else. I don't think, because I don't think that's what Lord of the Rings did. I think they shot for the book fans. And they got everyone else. Like I remember in high school, it made me mad a little bit because I felt like I discovered it, like for my own self, my own circle, Fellowship of the Ring, and then I was the only kid on the sports teams that I was involved in who liked Lord. I'm reading the book on the bus, and I'm like, I'm sort of hiding it, but I don't really care at some point. And then by the time Return of the King came out, like everyone at school was talking about. Everyone went to the midnight premiere. Kids who they're like, yeah, his name's Aragorn. Yeah, he's Aragorn. I'm like, it's Aragorn, dude. His name's like Aragorn. So you had people like that who were into it too, and I don't know, like
that was me, Tino. By the way, that was me.
That was that.
I'm still saying. I'm still saying it.
Yeah, Ed still says Aragorn.
Yeah. So.
I just wonder. I kind of wonder. So, but I'm happy for people who are enjoying it, and there are elements I'm enjoying as well. Like I said, I'm rooting for Sauron. I'm hoping those orc babies see the light, or not the light of day, see the darkness of night.
Light of day. How dare you? That is
whatever. Sorry, dude.
I hope those orc babies quote Lane on that. Somebody quote him.
Did you just say you wanted orc babies to burn?
He did. He literally said that, Tino. God, how do I deal with a co-host like this? People don't know what I go with.
Now burning orc babies. I'm really getting pegged here. This is not good. I feel I'm sweating.
Hey, can I? So Tino was asking just like where things we like, right? I don't know if you had a chance, but at the end, did you by chance? And I'm guessing it's probably no, because I just posted it last night at midnight. But have you heard my wizard theory yet, Tino? By chance?
I did.
You did?
I think I did. Was that on your the one you posted today?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go. Okay. So, I mean, that's the thing I'm looking forward to, which is the fact that I truly think, and I don't even know, I never even got Lane's thoughts on this. So while we got Tino on here, I think that white wizard we see is actually a blue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's gone evil. So, I mean, that's kind of, I'm like, all right, cool. Add a few layers like that, and I'll kind of stick around and see how this bad boy goes. And it gives us images for these individuals and cool name drops and stuff like that. So cool settings, different places. It has done something for me that has been very positive, which is, I got really busy with life, and then the Silmarillion kind of got away from us. And I told Lane, I said, until I'm ready to go back into it, I'm just going to table it. But I have been on such deep dives in terms of just like lore videos and like my own research. I actually have like a my own family tree going. There's a bunch of family trees that are out there, but they're just not all connected enough for me.
Yeah.
And I need my own
The
notes
Flannel
on them.
Wizard back in the archives.
Yeah,
Flannel
so
Wizard back in the archives. It's like the old days, baby.
just like the old days. Once you
out.
make your own family tree, then you're kind of like, okay, now I know that tree. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at on it. So that would be the positive for me right now. That's what I'm trying to dig into.
What are the positives for you? What are you enjoying, Tino?
I'm like everybody else. I love the dwarves. I wasn't like the dwarves has like never been my favorite part of Tolkien, but in this, they're my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Like I love Issa and Durin. I love what they're doing with the dwarf story. The sympathetic orcs doesn't really bother me. I think I think even Tolkien mentioned at some point in one of his letters that orcs probably do have families. So it's just something to think about.
There you go, Tino referencing the letters again. Damn, Tino.
God.
Yeah,
referencing the letters, baby.
I'm with you guys. The Anatar reveal was super cool.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying though, because when he comes out of the cloud, they're like, it looks like Jesus coming down. I'm like, I didn't think that. I thought he looked like the what is it, the Columbia Pictures logo. You know, when he goes with the lady holding the
yeah.
That's my first thought. I was like, it's the Columbia Pictures logo.
Tino, you heathen. You come on now. You just exposed yourself. Man.
I think Prime just acquired Columbia. Actually, though, I think that was part of a new merger deal.
Was that part of their?
Their announcement?
You had me later. I was like, wow, okay.
I was like, Bezos was like, hey, you got to throw this in here to,
Yeah, that's right, dude.
I will say though, I think this is where I got to deviate from you guys. The stranger part of it might be the only part where I'm like kind of almost off the boat about.
Oh,
yeah, there's just so much stuff in there. It's like has me scratching my head that I'm just like, they're just doing too much. It feels like with that. I mean, if you love it, cool, but it's just deviating too much.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's kind of replaced the guessing game of season 1?
Yeah.
A little bit like it's the mystery box.
Guessing like who is this? Yeah, who is the leader of the Acolyte now? Is it a blue wizard? Is it Saruman pretending to be evil before he really is evil? Like, is it? I think Payne and McKay really do like their guessing games, no matter what they say. I think they like having a guessing game because that's what it feels like.
They don't.
That is the only thing where I'm like, they said they don't.
Yeah, they say they don't. But they're always kind of like, hey, we're not about a puzzle. We're not about a game. By the way, we ain't going to tell you the name of these characters.
Right, like it's obviously Gandalf, right? Like, didn't they say Gand for a wand or for the staff?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right.
Like they're dropping so many hints that it's Gandalf. I'm like, come on, guys, it's Gandalf.
Yeah.
We know who it is.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't need to keep guessing the whole season.
It kind of feels like a waste of time story-wise too, doesn't it? It's just a way. Just tell us so we can like see cool stuff instead of like sitting here with you trying to fool us and you're doing a poor job. Like, I mean, it sort of is like that whole Halbrand thing over again. I wonder next season who it'll be. Like, is the Steel Door really going to cut the ring? That might be season 3's, guessing game. Or like, will Galadriel end up, with someone other than Celeborn? Like, I mean, I think that they do have that kind of reputation because they were, I believe anyway, they were like, I don't want to just say disciples, but they were like J.J. Abrams guys. And J.J. Abrams, of course, loves I've seen him give talks about mystery boxes.
Yeah.
If you don't know what to do with something, put it in a mystery box. And it's kind of like this, I think it's his like cheat code of not having to like maybe deal with complications and storylines, or I don't know. Like, I think it works the first time you do it, but if you keep doing it, it's just like you said, it's like, come on, man. It's annoying.
Right.
So yeah.
Like, just let me know. I just want to know.
Yeah, just tell us.
The Numenorian stuff is cool. I did feel a little bit like a Star Wars prequel trilogy when a lot of it is just politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We're just seeing the inter-politics of what makes Numenor tick, and people kind of stabbing each other in the back a little bit. But I am liking that. But I think I'm just like, I just have to separate it in my head. Like, the show is its own thing, and I'm going to enjoy it like that.
Yep.
Even, the parts that maybe I'm just like kind of scratching my head. Like, I'm still like, even though like the Stranger, like I said, the Stranger is kind of like, I'm kind of off the boat about that. I'm still wondering. It still does hook me a little bit. I'm like, I still need to know. I have that need to know.
Yeah, still got to watch it through. Yeah.
So I'm still going to watch. I'm still gonna watch just so I can, because I guess I did get hooked, a little bit, but yeah, that's just how I'm feeling on it right now. I'm just kind of like enjoying it as it goes, and if I feel at the end of the season, maybe it might turn on me, but we're only 3 episodes in. Maybe it'll get better. I don't know.
Yeah,
for the best.
Yeah, it's a good mindset. I love that.
Like it.
I love it, dude.
Hey, Tino, thanks so much, man. Really appreciate
it's good
you
to hear your
in.
voice again, buddy.
Glad we got the technicals. Yeah, honestly, good to hear it from you and everything. And so hopefully we have, by the way, some more. I just switching fandoms on Tino real quick. Some Star Wars stuff in the future, buddy. Okay, I'm just thinking in the future I might be needing you to call in and chat with me because things are getting pretty dire.
Yeah, because the Acolyte was perfect. No notes.
Oh yeah, what? What did you say? What did you say?
I said the Acolyte was perfect. No notes.
No, okay, right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, oh, you got me. But no, we need. I need that. We got. There's a lot going on in that fandom. But anyways, yeah, we got another caller coming in here in just a second. But Tino, we appreciate you. And
Tino.
Feel free to call back in. Okay.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
See you, brother. Love you, man.
Bye.
Bye. Oh. And I just lost everybody. Holy man, we are not doing good today. We are just having a rough time with the technologies.
Well, that's cool. Just hanging up on me too. That's
dude, I'm awesome. Having a rough time.
I literally just gave this heartfelt thing about Tino too, and I literally said we need to either get our asses up to Michigan or have another party so we can have a reason to come down to Ohio.
Oh, dude, he's
just an incredible man. And literally, I said that. And I'm just waiting. I'm like,
and nothing for me yet. See, I'm trying to answer these calls. You can't hear when the calls are coming in. I'm trying that's the worst part. Is I just want to answer it and go to it.
Steven's getting through. Let's go.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
See, it's so weird.
Hi, this is Steven.
Steven
from Minnesota.
Hey,
welcome,
good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you too,
Thank
man.
you
welcome.
so much. Well, I'm kind of excited now. Okay, so let me get my notes up here.
Come on now.
Welcome to the Hobbit Hotline. Steven, get your notes out. Tell us what you love, what you don't like, what you're looking forward to, what you're looking past.
Well,
just give us the whole deal.
Sure. I was like I said in the chat, I think there are a few more things to like about season 2. So, for example, Adar and the dwarves, those are still good aspects, right?
Yeah.
I have a couple of predictions. I think Galadriel's ring is going to change her character arc, and she's going to turn into a more likable person, like we expect from Lord of the Rings, right? That's going to play a part in that.
Yep.
Sounds
cool.
One of the things that I thought too is why couldn't Círdan be the person who guides Gandalf in his early part of his journey instead of shoehorning Bombadil in?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that would have been good.
Yes, his ring gets passed on to Gandalf, right? That's a natural.
Yeah.
If you're gonna smush timelines together and go that angle, why not? Yeah, probably because he'd be too close to everybody, and then it would create other problems, right? I don't know, but that would be awesome, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good idea. I think the stranger is absolutely Gandalf. I don't think we need to give them credit for being clever at all. This is it's just Gandalf, okay? I think we all agree with that. Another thought on the stranger and him being Gandalf in the Second Age, it's like, what? This doesn't work, right? Well, maybe he dies in the second age and gets resurrected back into the Third Age. It's obviously still canon breaking, right? Yeah. But it works a little bit better. It's like, oh, okay, he returns in the Third Age.
That'd be cool.
More palatable, even. I like that idea, man. See, that's creative thinking right there. That's how you solve.
Well,
I think that's how you solve problems with season 1. It was like that kind of stuff right there. Now watch, they won't do that.
That's what I'm gonna say. If they don't do it, now I'm gonna be so. I'm like, Steven. Now I'm more disappointed. I'm like, they're not gonna do it. I hope they do. I hope they do.
See, that reminds me of season 1 when Jake said, when Jake was like, maybe this Gilgalad, this like kind of waffling Gilgalad, is actually another, Sauron in disguise, and that had me like, that would save the character,
Yeah,
because he's so awful.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, he's terrible. He's terrible.
It's crazy.
Right. It's really unfortunate. But I'm not being all negative on it. I do like the Adar angle. I did like the Sauron aspect in the beginning on episode 1. I did like that whole scene. I know a lot of people didn't, but
yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
it was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I think we all have come to an agreement that it's a lot of missed opportunities, unfortunately. But nothing they're going to do in their little TV series is going to change any of the books or canon. So,
True.
Good
that's
luck.
true. That's true. That's
Right.
That's something we talked about. We talked about with season 1 too. It's like we always have the books. We always have the films, right? Those are untouchables. You can't. Yeah. So it's just kind of like as I said, like Jake has said, like Tino said, like kind of what I feel like you're gonna say. You almost kind of have to go forward and be like, okay, this is a different deal, and what can we take away from it that at least makes the viewing experience enjoyable, if nothing else. So
Sure.
Yeah.
I had one more thing I wanted to bring up.
Come on.
The conversation that Elrond and Galadriel had at the Grey Havens, that had me like clapping and laughing in my living room. Because Elrond just put the smash down on her, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
dude, he is.
He's crazy. That was some good. That was some good acting and dialogue, I thought, actually.
yeah.
It is kind of cool to almost see. You have to have somebody almost. Maybe they realize that we're gonna have to have someone call Galadriel out for being kind of one-dimensional. I think that's maybe the nicest way to describe her is she's got one dimension, and she's a very flat character. When we're not used to seeing even in the mirror scene, we see all these different flavors of.
I think that's where the ring comes into play. I think that where the ring is going to come into play. That's gonna change her arc a little bit.
Yeah.
I love that.
And that would be cool because it definitely needs to, I mean, because they one of the things they said, I was just reading all those different articles in the episode I posted yesterday, was that they're really trying to get us to almost forget the name of these characters and really just get into like, what are they trying to show us? Like to try to drop all of our sort of preconceived notions and just come and explore these characters, and they will grow to where we all know that they get to. So it's more about the how. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to, so I'm also trying to like come at it with like, this is what their creative decision is. And this is what they want us to do. They want us to see her grow into that role. And they want to see that they really are trying to do that with like pretty much every character. And that was intentional. And so once I got that, and I didn't, because originally you might just think, well, do these guys know the characters, or what's the deal? What's their explanation for why they're doing this? And then it's very intentional, and it's their kind of creative take on it. So yeah, it'll be cool. I agree with Steven. I would love to see the ring actually start to kind of change, and when it has to, right? If it's giving them this foresight and these abilities, all of a sudden there's going to be some.
I think there's hope for that, because they're already playing into that, aren't they?
Yeah.
With the visions that Galadriel is starting to see, and maybe this is going to adjust her thinking going forward.
Right.
And maybe she'll find herself a good man. I don't know.
Yeah. So maybe she will. Maybe
she'll be haunted by the halberd that got away.
Gosh.
Hey, Steven, are you the
right?
Steven, are you the one that's lighting up the Facebook group with all these incredible posts?
Well, sure, if you want to call them incredible.
Yes.
I posted one, the book cover today, and my
I've been in there. So I haven't been in the group for a long time. Just kind of haven't really kept tabs on everything. But I've noticed time and time again that comments and questions and you're like a heavily active in there, and it's always great stuff, super engaging, and like all about building community and fellowship. So like, hats off to you, dude.
Well, I'm glad it's welcome. I'm glad it's welcome.
Yeah.
Of course it is, man. Yeah, I love, and I also love, I love a good Minnesota accent. One of my best friends in the world.
Rob, don't you know?
One of my best friends in the world, Rob Thorson. He's a Chicagoan originally, but he lives in Minnesota now. He lives in Winona. And so he's got to call him on the phone, or I get a voicemail from him, and it's the same kind of, it's that lake effect accent, and it's just it does something to your heart. It makes you
Yep,
feel
yep.
good inside. And like it's, I think of the accents in America, it is the warm hug. It is the warm hug of accents in the United States of America. I just feel like, come on in for a cup of Joe and a little bit of pancakes. It just feels good.
Well,
it's
I like
weird.
to say, I don't want to eat up too much time here, but
No, you're good.
As I like to say, I live down by the Brandywine. I'm in a little-known hamlet of Shakopee in the Midwest farthing of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome, man.
But don't look for it on the map. It's in the white spaces.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, heck yeah. That's where you want to be. You want to be in the white spaces, I
That's
think.
awesome.
Obviously, I've been going back and listening to the podcast and whatnot. So
Yeah.
It's awesome, dude.
Well,
We're glad you're on the journey with us. Thanks for calling in, man. This has been great to
for
hear your
sure.
voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's cool to put a voice
dude.
to you, Steven, because we've been seeing, just the activity in there and stuff. It's great. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And it actually, shout out to anybody who wants to the face group. It's it's popping, man.
Still going strong. Yep.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, I love it. So this is cool. I
Sounds
gotta figure out
good.
how to like.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Hey, thanks, Steven.
Thanks,
Yep.
brother.
Goodbye.
Let's see. They've got
Oh, that's awesome,
man.
dude.
Dude, I got to scrolling in here, and this is awesome.
It's active, baby. Yeah, and that's the cool thing, man. I it'd be cool if we could do this. And we should. We should make time for it. Like every once in a while, even when the show's not on, to have people call. It's just, I love the Hobbit Hotline. I mean, find another podcast Lord of the Rings podcast that does this. I don't think there is one, guys. I don't think there's another Middle Earth podcast.
No. Oh, here we go, buddy.
Shoot our own, or it's just trusting. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Here we go.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello and welcome to the Hobbit Hotline. Who do we have here?
This is Andrew.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God, Andrew.
Thank
Man.
God. Oh, I can't tell you what that just did to my soul. I got all
Just
kinds of
got
moss
goosebumps.
flying out of my
Andrew.
soul right now, baby.
Dude, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Dude, we're doing incredible, man. This night keeps getting better and better. How are you? How's life? And then tell us what you're thinking of season 2, dog.
I'm good. Life's good. Couldn't be better.
Good.
Hell yeah, that's good.
How is everybody? Yeah.
Doing good, man. We're doing great. Life's awesome, man.
Yeah.
We're all here and we're enjoying every moment of it. Right?
Heck
Ev?
yeah. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
That's right, baby.
I haven't really dug too deep into the new season. I watched the first 2 episodes the other night.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
watched the 3rd episode earlier today.
Mhm.
And me personally, I like it. Again, I guess it could be lack of lore information, although I've looked up a lot more lore. But
yeah,
definitely, I could see the perspective of people not agreeing with a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
But someone who, doesn't really get too deeply involved in it, it for me, I find it very interesting.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
heck yeah.
For you, Andrew, does it feel like as they because I remember from season 1 where you're kind of like, all right, this has got me wanting to dig into the lore more and wanting to look stuff up.
Yep.
Because I think that if I remember that correctly, because I'll be honest with you too, it's actually kind of done the same thing for me, even though I might have known a little bit about it and read it a long time ago and then forgot it and like I'm back to it. But I mean, I haven't stopped watching lore videos and haven't stopped looking stuff up because
I can vouch for that.
I mean, really,
Yeah,
I kind of am like, because I'm intrigued. They've at least done enough to kind of say this is intriguing. Who are these people? Where is this guy? Is he supposed to be this way? Is he not supposed to be this way? And I'm probably getting too into that. And that's something I was telling Lane sort of off the podcast. I'm probably going a little too crazy with it. But and that's why I did my therapy session yesterday. I did my whole kind of like, let's just try to get through this because I do want to enjoy it. And there's a lot of things I think to enjoy once I just bury the time compression stuff and I move on. I think it's like, all right, it is what it is. That's Celebrimbor. And actually I saw some images of him later. It looks like it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy season for him.
He finally gets sweaty, I think, Az. I think he finally gets sweaty and dirty.
Yeah, I think so too. But does it still have you kind of digging into any of the lore Andrew?
Well, like I said, I haven't really got too much into it.
Oh,
I didn't really watch any of the previews. I didn't watch any of that. It just kind of like, oh, it's coming up.
Right.
I've been so crazy with everything going on at home and just trying to get through every day that, if I lay down at night, if I put something on TV, it's not really, focusing on Tangled or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
you're wanting light stuff. You're not looking for like content that's going to make your head.
I'm watching like the end of the world stuff, how it's made and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When I but a little bit that I saw that I kind of maybe made a connection with is the way that they're kind of going back to the ending of season 1, where they created the Elven Rings. And I guess looking at it from a certain perspective, maybe it's just the way I was watching it, maybe not paying 100% attention, that they, the deceit in them putting the rings on, even though they shouldn't, where Galadriel picks the ring up when it falls and puts it on. Yeah. And then everything starts to heal in Middle Earth or Rivendell or whatever it is.
Yep. And
is that, now I'm saying it makes a little sense that there is the deceit, because maybe there's maybe this guy's not really Sauron anyway, or maybe he's not what we think he is, or maybe there's more to it. That the deceit with that.
Yep.
You can kind of see it. Like, I got the kids, I'm flipping back and forth to the beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring, because now my youngest son's getting interested in it.
Let's go, baby. Yeah.
He's watching, and he's like, showing him when Bilbo picks up the ring, and just, trying to let them get a little bit more of the sense of that. Now, again, I know it's not 100% the lore, but it's interesting, nonetheless.
Yeah.
But is that, and something that you guys touched on, I was listening to earlier, is the you guys were saying the power of Mithril. It's shouldn't be the power of Ring, or the whatever the show is called. I don't know.
Yeah.
My mind here.
Yeah.
The rings and meat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does the Mithril play the part of deception for Halbrand, Anatar, Sauron, in that he's putting it in because he's touching that and adding his own essence to it?
Yeah.
I guess, like, in terms of the show anyway, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that there's some kind of larger, there's some sort of larger focus on the Mithril. Now, I wonder if it's tied to the Balrog, right? As, like, probably that's going to be something like the delving deeply to awaken the Balrog, and, the Balrog would be an adversary for the for Sauron, right? It would help stir darkness. It would help, like, somewhat destroy, or at least evacuate a force for good in Moria, I'm guessing.
What I'm
hearing, it's kind of unclear.
What I'm hearing Andrew say too is also that, like, the fact that this Mithril is really largely involved, or has been anyways, at least in the first with the saving of the kingdom, right, is like, I don't know if they're going to take that as even, it sounds like they're going to take that even further with the other rings. It sounds like Mithril's in all of them. It sounds like it's going to be
all of them, right? Yeah,
right. And I think that to Andrew's point, like, that is maybe something. I'm not so sure that was is that kind of negating some of the deception. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I'm hearing. Is that, like, maybe there's something that we all are a little bit deceived. Like, even people who kind of know the lore, because this is so new. It's so different that we don't really know how that there could be a piece of that's playing into sort of what's going on here, and maybe even Sauron himself is a little bit sort of like, oh, okay, well, what really happened there? He's using something powerful. I don't know, because it's weird that he like that Mithril's involved. Mithril is just sort of thrown in there, and it was the big thing that saved everybody. And I don't think that was originally a part of Sauron's plan, but it, you know, so
I can't even, and I can't even remember in season 1, like who was that Sauron's suggestion? Was that
I think it was
Brimbor's deal?
Was like Elrond, Elrond got it and he put it next to the
get
leaf.
The piece.
Right, but he put it next.
That Celebrimbor?
Right.
I don't remember who said.
Well, I think it was Halbrand said, you know, did you mix?
Have you mixed them?
Try mixing? Yeah.
Right.
I think that's what it kind of was.
And so that was his technique, right? So that was him kind of like he was giving his techniques to Celebrimbor, and then like you were saying, Andrew, in these first couple episodes, he like grabs a piece of it and like I think we see him, don't we? I can't already forget. I want to see it. He drops it. Yeah. Okay. He drops it in there. So that seems.
I thought he swallowed it. I thought he ate it. He didn't eat it.
No,
I'm all confused.
He probably could have. He probably could have been just chomping down on Mithril, but also
bubblegum Mithril.
But he's also throwing it in the fire. You know, he's also he's doing both, man. But
he's doing both.
Yeah, there's something going on there, though, Andrew. I agree with you. There's something off about that, in maybe a good way. So yeah.
And I to one of the points of too, like when Galadriel, when she does put the ring on, it doesn't make sense she's putting it on if she really believes that he is, you know, Sauron. So I mean, that's a little bit, you know. And as far as, you know, the creators doing what they were doing, and like you said, maybe doubling down, and you know, it's kind of like, you know, they're in it, you know, just you're gone, you know. I guess it's the saying like in Star Wars, you know, once you go down that path, forever it's going to dominate your faith, you know. Basically.
Wow.
True.
Wow.
True. That's what they've done. They've doubled down. They have to. They started down this path, and so they kind of have to continue. Yeah, I think you're right. And the bit about Galadriel, like you just said, Andrew, it's like she knows she must know something else too, or there's sort of there's more going on with that. Like they don't know necessarily the whole extent of this deception, but they definitely get a feeling when they put those rings on, and they definitely do use.
Yeah, she's definitely. Yeah, she's been like almost tortured. Not that you say that, Andrew. Like since she's had the ring on, she's having these visions of like the fruits of her like decisions coming back to kind of haunt her almost. And so that's that's a great point. Great point.
Yeah.
So I mean, is there anything in the I guess in the third age where is there any kind of connection to things that she had done in the past that she was regretful for, that it can be some kind of connection to?
Yeah, there is. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and I guarantee somebody will leave it over on the chat. But like, I think isn't there this whole bit where she kind of has to pass a final test before she can go into the West, right? She kind of has to. Yeah. And I think
that resist the power of Sauron, kind of almost.
Right.
I don't remember, dude. Honestly, like
no, I think that's
one that I've
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's sort of this idea that she is somebody who passes tests, and she's constantly testing herself, and she wants power. She wants to become a queen. And so she's seeking that. You know, that's why I think a little bit in season 2, it's been a little bit different, just to kind of see her want revenge, really, for the killing of her brother. And largely during this time in the Second Age in the lore, she's bouncing between Lindon and Eregion, and kind of just, you know, bouncing around there and doing just different things. And she's with Celeborn.
I'm sure probably too that to speak on that, like how revenge is more of her kind of. I think maybe when the showrunners were deciding stuff, they thought like, well, revenge is a little more relatable, or at least honorable, than like being like wanting power. I kind of wonder if that maybe informed some of their decisions on like Galadriel's character. Like revenge, at least everyone kind of understands that, like especially rightful like revenge, like your brother's killed, you want to avenge that death, versus like her being someone who wants to have power, who wants to have dominion, because maybe they thought that would sound too, maybe in modern times, you know what I'm saying, that sounds a little bit too like nefarious almost, or something. I don't know. It's a dude, Andrew, so good hearing you again, man. Like you always bring such good
questions. Good questions.
I just and it's just like again, like I said, I'm looking at it from a different perspective. Even though I know some of the lore,
Right.
I'm looking at it from, I know like at the end of the third episode where the eagle comes and everybody starts chanting Farazan as king. Now, I know just based off of something that Lane, you had said the last time, and I never really looked into that, Farazan, the way he becomes king is basically forcing himself with Muriel, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, maybe that's just not the way they want to go at that. And
right.
I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the next, in the next few episodes? But I mean, maybe that's just one way they're pointing to him being king.
Yeah, almost like a divine intervention as opposed to like him kind of like forcing his way.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. More. Yeah. Again,
which makes him more
modern.
likable, right? They might be trying to do that to make him more likable. So they're not giving away like he's this super evil dude. There's like not that he is. I mean, there's these little bits and pieces right now where we're kind of seeing like, okay, who is this dude? And
he has a great fall, right? I mean, part of Farazan, he has this great fall, just kind of like he's a warrior who defeats Sauron essentially, but then eventually, lets his guard down and lets Sauron out of the chambers and makes him his number one advisor, kind of a deal. Right. So it's maybe they're kind of running out of time, I think. But,
I think something it was Steven had said right before you, Andrew. He was kind of talking about the idea that once Sauron gets in your head, he knows he can get he can do it. If he did it once, he'll come back again. And so also back to your point with Galadriel later on in the Third Age is like that's her final test. Is like here is his most powerful thing. There's this moment to kind of so she's finally overcoming that. So cool. It's cool stuff. Oh man, dude. And actually, Andrew, by the way, I wanted to say too, in terms of the it's interesting that the show, because I know you follow Star Wars pretty closely too, and I love talking all sorts of different fandoms with you. Because the Acolyte was also something that was really controversial for us in that fandom, and I think, I tried to navigate those waters and stay pretty positive. And then towards the end, I kind of got like I don't know what to think of this show, and Tino kind of gave me a good laugh there earlier about it, but it's like it's perspective because I think, as Andrew said, like you come home and sometimes you just want to watch something just to kind of watch it, right? And you just want to like escape a little bit, and I feel like that's what we want from these shows. And then as we get more of them and we get more lore, we get more steeped in that, sometimes we take it a little too serious or whatever, and it just I don't know, it's just good to have different perspectives come on and say, because my wife is actually excited to come back and watch it with me. She's like, I don't know, I want to watch the whole thing, and I think she'll be kind of like, cool, what's the problem? And that's great. That's also fine, and that's their target audience, I feel like. So which is good, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
So but all right, man. Thank you so much though. We got a couple other callers coming here. Andrew, always good to hear from you, buddy.
You're the man, Andrew. Yeah. Call in again, all right, brother?
Yep. Thank you.
All right.
All right, man, you're the best.
Yep. We'll see you.
I love Andrew. Easy cow.
Yeah, man, that's so cool. It's and again, like you were saying, Lane, it's just good to get different perspectives. It's just good to kind of
it definitely is. Yeah, it takes you out of your head and it helps you relax a little bit. And you can still have your own opinions too. That's a great thing. Like we've always talked about, call in and share your opinion, and it'll only make us all better.
We got ourselves another caller coming in right now, baby.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
To accept, press 1. To send.
All right, welcome to the Hobbit Hotline. Who we got?
What? We got Mr. Matthew Johnson, a.k.a. the Old Took.
Holy smokes. Holy smoke! Oh, look, we got. Hold on, let's. No, Lane's like, there you go, Lane.
Am I the caller?
Lane, welcome to the Hobbit Hotline.
Hey, first time caller.
I had him on hold, Matthew. I had him on hold, man. I put him on the side. I wanted time with Matthew by myself. I recognized. I thought that's probably going to be him.
Is this MJ? Get out of here, baby.
Dude, he's here.
It is. What's up, boys?
What is up?
Of Greenholm himself. Get in here, dog. Okay. You and I got to have a beautiful chat on the phone just a couple nights ago. Have you had time to dive into season 2, man?
So this is my confession. I watched the first episode.
Okay.
And I need to listen to your guys' recap because I got pretty lost on the Sauron timeline, where he was and all that nonsense. And then I started the second, did not finish, and then I came back for more Friday night, and it was one of those where like you're on your phone 80% of the time.
Yep.
And then so I still have 15 more minutes of the second episode. Not to mention the third. So I am just failing. Or
you're a busy man.
The show is failing me.
Yeah,
you're a busy man, and I mean, I saw that. So if I don't know if I can, I saw that picture on Instagram that your wife posted, and I'm just glad to know I'm not the only person that when I go to sit down and eat a meal, and I'm not like I saw it the other night. I'm like clobbered by my kids. They're on my shoulders and on my lap and on my head, and they're eating my food. And so it's nice to know it's not just me, Matthew. Like, it's very comforting to know.
And
that's a shared,
fellas, as a guy who saw that go down, I got some extra chicken later that night because Lane didn't get to it. So to those babies, I owe I got a late night snack. I was like, dang, Lane didn't get any of this. I'm gonna eat it right. It's like, I ain't even hungry anymore. I was like, well, you'll just buy more later. I'm going to eat this tonight. So I'm like a scavenger rolling in there. Like,
personal space is a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone. You know what, though? I think we talked about this the other day on the phone. It's like, man, I'll take it, because they won't always want to sit on our laps or like be close to us. And we won't always be their, like their favorite guy in the world, or a favorite person or whatever. And so, eat it up, right?
Oh, it's true. Yeah, I will say, like, before I put the girls to bed and I was planning on calling in here, guess what we're reading together?
Yeah, got to be the Hobbit, right?
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
We met Bjorn tonight. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Raising them up right. That's awesome, man. Okay, so here, let's I want to ask you, how is the show failing you? What are you wanting that you're not getting? Or from the 15 minutes of episode 2 that you did see, what's going on?
Why did that Sauron backstory, stop you in your tracks? What happened? Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so like maybe it was I wasn't paying enough attention, but all of a sudden it was my boy from Slow Horses with Sauron. And he gets killed by Adar, right? Or quote killed.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like he's in the prison with him, or no, he gets killed. But then how he got recaptured by Adar and the guys? Because didn't the end of season 1 he was like hooded and looking like Anakin Skywalker, like up in Mordor?
Right.
Yes. So that was I asked Ez, I'm like, how the hell did we go from techno hoodie strolling into Mordor, a little smirk on his face, like, this is mine now, fellas. Thanks for the setup. To let my people go. Like, he's the Moses of the Southlands. Like, he's coming in there saying, please, I plead with you. Like, they're not his people. He doesn't give a damn about the people. Like, he can't even get the orcs to care about him. So, yeah, I was a little lost on that, too. It's almost like we're going to, but maybe the funny thing, maybe this is what you felt, too. Maybe not. I'm not projecting. But the funny thing that I had trouble with was we got all that explanation about how he ended up on that dang raft. Yet there's this.
They finally they heard our comments. They did explain it.
They did. They've heard the comments. But my question is, like, how did we go from that version, or why did we get that explanation? But then there's this weird gap between when he rolls into Mordor at the end of season 1 to he's essentially a prisoner and helpless and having to bow to Adar. I don't know. I don't think you missed anything. I think it's just something. Me. No, I think it's something we're just supposed to accept. I think it's building the sympathy for Sauron, and it's why I'm cheering for him now to gain all dominion.
I hope he wrecks everybody. I'm just like,
I do too, man.
Yeah, man. Like, bring it on.
Yep.
Well, I think that's my biggest problem is like in Tolkien, like Morgoth and Sauron are more or less the personification of evil, right? And they're just these nebulous figures of darkness or whatever. And it's our heroes are going against them, fighting against this like impenetrable force. And now like Sauron is the dude with the boombox over his head, being like, Celebrimbor, let me in, boy.
Jesus.
Yes. Shall I fetch him a shawl, sir? No, I'll go down.
Yeah.
You can't trick me. Come on up, man. Let me get you some food. Can I rub your feet for you? Yeah, it was a little. Okay, so Jake was talking about one of his favorite things was the reveal of Anatar, which I thought was great too. Like that reveal is awesome. What ruined it for me was right before, right, and then kind of like towards the end, right before how easily Celebrimbor was like, "Yeah, no, come on up, buddy. I haven't gotten the message from Galadriel, so I'm kind of clueless. Why are you here again?" Then he vanishes. He turns into this brilliant figure of light. It's this visually like stunning spectacle. And then he ends it with, "I am the Lord of the Rings." And it's just like, what, dude? Like, what is happening? So it's almost like you get these good moments, but they're kind of bookended by moments where you're like, huh? Like they leave you kind of scratching your head. It was very like, John Cusack, boombox over his head. Let me in, babe. Let me in.
Yeah. I think they're just giving us too much. It's like if Jaws had shown us the shark the whole time, like no one would know what that movie was now. You know? Yes. That's what I think. I will say on a positive. We can keep going, man.
No, you keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, go ahead.
How dare you? I was going to say on a positive note, Kieran is awesome. He's like my favorite character now of this show. That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the wise, like wake surfing elf of the bay. Like,
dude, he's
the
totally
dude's just awesome.
That's awesome. That is who he is. Yeah, he does kind of seem. Maybe one of the problems I have with him is he almost kind of seemed like, as I don't know how you feel about this, a little Tom Bombadilian, where he was kind of like unbothered. Almost. It's almost like maybe it was unsettling because everyone else is so concerned about everything. Everyone else is like scheming, manipulating. He's like, I mean, what? He's kind of like the dude of the Big Lebowski. He's kind of just like, whatever, man, you know. And so to your point about like showing too much, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about we talked about too about how Peter Jackson with Sauron. You essentially have this villain who's disembodied. He's barely in. You see more of his minions and his forces than you see him. You almost never see him, right, in the movies.
Yeah.
And how they took that, what could be seen as a disadvantage, and they made it work, and they made him really scary despite it. And it's like M. Night Shyamalan always talks about that anticipation of fear is better than fear itself. And so I also think about like Silence of the Lambs. I think Anthony Hopkins is in only like 17 minutes of that movie. It's something really small, but he's the dude you remember because it's his impact is so great in a small amount of time. He scares the crap out of you, and part of it is because he's always lurking, right? And so you have this dilemma where they want to explore Sauron, but by exploring him, I think we've spent more time with him this season than Galadriel or any other character really so far. And so you almost kind of start to go, I mean, I kind of feel bad for him too. No, he is kind of handsome.
Yeah.
I mean, he just wants to.
Charlie Vickers, handsome man.
He is, dude. And you're like, well, he kind of is like an evil Aragorn. Maybe he's my dude. I don't know. And so, and if that's what they're going for, then they're succeeding, I guess, in terms of like interest in a show. But yeah, it just doesn't. It feels kind of like I don't know. It's almost like you strip him of his power when you see too much of him, maybe. And so, yeah, I agree with you on that.
Well, it kills me because I remember like Bezos saying that he wanted Amazon's version of Game of Thrones, and then you have George R.R. Martin, like his famous comments about Aragorn, like, oh, was he a good king? What was his tax code? Blah blah blah, all that stuff.
Oh my God!
I think it's missing the point of what makes Lord of the Rings amazing and makes the stories incredible. And I think there's a level of just not knowing and like the grandeur and splendor and mystery and how like huge it is, these cosmic good and evil battles and yes, there are characters who have like a moral gray area, but for the most part, it's not about that. It's not about delving into human psychology or how Sauron's Papa Morgoth wasn't very nice and didn't spend much time at home, and so now he is the way he is.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just here for the comments, boys.
For the hotline, baby. Yeah,
I love it.
For the hotline.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe one of the things too that I feel like I'm missing kind of is I apart from now I've decided I'm Team Sauron. Like in Lord of the Rings, right? You have not just one probably, but you have one main character that you love, and then you've got like secondary and even tertiary characters where you're like, I'm rooting for this dude. I feel like connected to this character. Like I love Arwen, or I love Sam, and I want to see what happens at Gandalf. Like you have all these characters, but like in Rings of Power, I kind of feel like honestly I don't give a crap about many of them. And I think maybe that's what I'm missing with this show. Do you feel like there's one character at least where you're like kind of rooting for, you're interested in? What storyline is connecting with you, I guess?
I had this exact same thought because I actually think there's too many characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's part of the issue. And so I like any of them right now. Like I was loving the dwarves last season.
Yeah.
But so far it hasn't clicked for me. However far through episode 2 I am. That's why I called out, my boy the shipbuilder as like my favorite part so far.
Yeah.
I just have no interest in the stranger. And then, like, the Galadriel love triangle with Elrond is whatever. Gil-galad is just, I don't even know. It might be like the orcs. Like, honestly, that might be the most intriguing part so far.
Crazy.
Well, I'm with you. I mean, I'm like team bad boy. Honestly, that's kind of where I've landed. Kind of where I've landed. Honestly, I don't know. Like it's, yeah.
Jeez.
So I haven't heard everything, but have you guys been able to find more positivity so far in this season than, like, let's say where our headspace was at like episode 6 of season 1 8 years ago when that happened?
Mm-hmm.
As you want to go,
Lane, you want to go? I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah.
I got this, Lane. I knew he was going to do that because he was like, because
you have a better resilience. For like finding positivity, and
that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say about you. I was going to say the opposite.
No, you weren't. Like,
I'm kidding. Kidding.
Very funny.
Sorry.
No, I feel like I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm stoked about this because as I get to like, there's a more like relevant reason to record and do episodes and talk about Lord of the Rings, and then we get to hear from all of you on the Hobbit Hotline. That is, again, like kind of what the end of season 1 felt like. That's pretty much. I mean, I tried to even rewatch episode 2 and 3. I watched episode 1 on my own. I watched episode 2 and 3 with Ez, and I was so busy, kind of like busting chops the whole time that. I mean, and we had the volume kind of like down, and we had the subtitles on because it was a rewatch for Ez, and Ez is just like he's sitting there, he's like, "Dude, I can't wait for this."
Oh, I couldn't wait for
like what?
Yeah,
what's gonna happen? And he's like, "Just wait, Lane. You're gonna hate this." And then, like, I tried to rewatch it last night, and I was texting Ez. I'm like, "Dude, I made it 5 minutes in because I got stuck on little stupid stuff where I'm just like, they're sitting there, the elves are sitting there at the beginning of episode 2, and they're talking about our elven spies saw Sauron." Making his way into Mordor. It's our belief that he plans to supplant Adar and win the support of the orcs. And I'm like, how do they know that it's called Mordor? Because up until 5 minutes ago, it was the Southlands. And the only reason we know is because we know from the story, but also it's like an audience thing that we're clued into, but because we saw the title graphic change, catch on fire and turn to Mordor. That's the only reason we know it's Mordor. And B, why are elves standing there, presumably more than one elf, watching him walk into Mordor without doing anything? And to me, I'm just like, that doesn't even make any sense to me. Like, just take that scene out, take it out. So it literally halted me in my tracks. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'd rather watch something else. Like, I'm to that point where I love watching it so we can talk about it, but I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know, I'll watch True Detective, or I'll watch Short Poppies, or I'll watch The Office again, or something. I mean, your entertainment time is limited when you've got kids and when you're working and doing different things, and so I'm like, I don't know that I will rewatch episodes. I would love to, and nothing against anyone who is, or like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, for me personally, it's been difficult. So I'm here for the conversations. I'm here for the comments. I'm here from hearing from Andrew, hearing from like Tino's perspective, hearing Jake's perspective of like what they're able to find good, because that'll help me look for nuggets. And so that's me. That's where I am.
So I kind of, I think I said this to Andrew, which is like, I now have switched the lens to, I want to know everything, and I knew some, but I now want to know it all, so I can nitpick it to death privately.
Yeah.
Privately,
yes.
I love text. Yeah, with Lane, I love like our messages. I hope they never get out, because I am just like destroy. I'm just left there. I'm like, wow. Let the darkness out. Get it out of your heart, and then when you come to the show, whatever. Just like, yeah, kind of that perspective I was talking with Andrew. Like, find something, and really, at the end of this, I said, all right, let's just start looking for crazy theories. Let's just start going nuts. I mean, what are some things that really could be nuts? I like Steven earlier was like, I mean, little things like hearing adjustments. Like, why didn't Gandalf come in next to Círdan? That I'm like, okay, yeah. If you're gonna do it, or you're gonna make these changes, and they're gonna continue going forward with this stuff, I wanted to. You're hoping they do some cool things that you're like, okay, if you're gonna change it, that's a good change. I mean, from get go here, I've been just dumbfounded by the time compression. I mean, I keep going back to like Galadriel is thousands of years older than Gil-galad and Gil-galad. Sorry, whatever. And it's just like, it's nuts. And all those things kind of just, they stuck with me, and I can't get over. I think I actually got Seth and Sam over here, and they're talking about like, it's impossible really to suspend your disbelief of this, right? You're watching it going, like, if you have knowledge of what these things should be, it's really hard to try to, I think, pierce through that. And because we all had an impression, I couldn't quite put my finger on it. It's like, I had an impression of what I thought these characters were, and not from like being able to quote the lore or anything like that, but just having read it casually here and there, and having a vague idea of what it should be. And then you go see it, and you're like, impressions, yeah. Too. And then when you go back every time, you're sort of like, oh yeah, that's what it was, or I remember that, or whatever, hadn't read that in 5-10 years, whatever, cool. And then you go back to it, and you're like, so that kind of grows on you over a couple decades of just being a fan. And then you go watch this, and you're like, it is hard to understand. It's hard to figure out like what they're trying to do with these characters. And then you realize I'm just not their target audience at all. Right. I don't think I was their intended target audience. And then it's almost, and you can actually see this in their interviews, they try to make us a part of that audience by fooling us with Halbrand. They wanted us to be locked in, like, oh wait, who is this guy? Because I don't know. So anyways,
then even the way they try to kind of like presume our thinking too, or like, not even that, just be like, well, why would fans want to see a show that does exactly what Tolkien wrote? And it's like, well, that's because we do, because that's a book and this is a show. It's another way to experience. Like, with that thinking, why make the movies at all then? Why make a show at all? Like why do you need this IP? Why do you need to be in Middle Earth? If you're so clever, do this show without the guise of Middle Earth and characters like Galadriel and Gil-galad and Elrond and all these people. Like, if that's your, I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. It's like, it would be like saying, to use a sports terminology, be like, you go to a Cleveland Guardians game. It's your favorite, or no, we'll do the Brownies. You go to watch the Cleveland Browns play, and instead they march out like, I don't know, like I don't want to say like a Pee Wee football team, but something like that. And then people are like, the owners, Dee and Jimmy Haslam, are like, well, why are you disappointed? You wanted to come here to watch the Browns? Yeah. Why would you want to watch the Browns? You know what the Browns are. Like, why don't you want to see? Look, this is better than the Browns. If you think it's more clever, it's not what you expected, right? And it's like, well, sometimes God dang. I mean, I think about, I'm a 36-year-old man who on a hard day will pop on the Fellowship of the Ring because I know what to expect, because it comforts me, because there's something there that I think, God dang, the world is messed up. and there's stuff I encounter every day that just makes me question everything. But I go there. It's the reason we have favorite books or favorite stories. It's a touchstone. It helps us remember, like, yeah, and it's expected. It's expected. And I think that's just not their goal, and that's okay. But I wish they were just honest. I wish they would come out in an interview and say, hey, you know what? We know it's totally different. And we are trying to do our own thing. And yeah, fans probably aren't going to like this, and that's okay. We're not making it for fans. We're making it for people who want a unique television under the guise of a well-known property. That would make it better for me. Sorry to rant.
Well,
wow, sorry, that was bad.
No,
you got me.
I love it.
You got,
I love
you
it.
got me.
I keep going. I'm gonna hop off. So
Yeah, sorry. Matthew's like Lane's fired up.
No.
I'm getting the heck out of here.
Matthew, we appreciate you, man.
I hog the time.
No.
You're the man, dude. You're the man, bro.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
I'll do better next time.
Oh, you're doing
No,
great,
right,
man.
you
Yeah,
were
we
great.
love
You
we
were
love
great.
you.
Love you,
And
brother.
yep. Thanks again.
All right.
So wow, buddy.
I know. I'm sorry. Did I go?
Oh no. Yeah, no.
Oh,
Here we
God.
go.
Can I hop off?
We got another
Can I hop
caller
off?
rolling in here. We got them lined
Okay.
up. I love it. Here we go. Let's see
sorry.
here. See if we can get this way.
To accept, press 1.
I'm
To send a
I'm sorry.
Don't know who
press
this is.
2.
Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Hobbit Hotline. Caller, who are you?
No, this is the showrunner. See, I just really hate what y'all are saying about this show. We worked a lot of long hours on this, and
I knew it. I knew it.
Here.
Are you Peyton or are you McKay? And I want to ask you, how does it feel?
How does it feel?
Oh, I can't even continue. I'm sorry. I can't. This is
Sam.
I know this is Sam. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Good.
Sam,
how you doing?
We're doing good, brother. You were, if I recall correctly, our introduction to Sam, other than like, I think we heard from you guys in a message. Can't remember if it was Sam or Seth that messaged us talking about like just how they were starting up their own podcast, Weller and Comforts.
Yep.
But I remember our very first caller in season 1 was Sam, if I'm not mistaken. It's Sam.
Yeah.
Almost kind of lifted the scales from our eyes, and we were like, wait a minute, whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, he doesn't like the show? He doesn't like episode 1 and 2? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Dude, how are you, man? And what are you thinking about season 2, dude? We know, but tell us.
Yeah, tell us, Raw.
Yeah. No, you're good. I'm doing well. Yeah, I remember that night. I was sitting on bed with my wife was next to me. I was like having like goosebumps. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to him, but at the same time, I have to tell them they're wrong.
Yeah.
But, it was, yeah, we've come a long way since, and I'm glad you guys have gone on the journey you had to have your eyes opened up a little bit. But no, it's needed. We just Seth and I just finished podcasting our own little review on it, and I've actually got him still on the Discord here. I don't know if you can hear him on the speaker. Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Seth?
Hey, how are you doing, gentlemen?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, dude. This is our first dual calling situation we've ever had, man. This is wild.
But anyway, yeah, so we just kind of talked a lot about how they started off so poorly in season 1. There was so much that they had to try to fix. And I mean, yes, they've still got 5 more episodes to go, but there's just the trajectory they're on. It's not going to fix all the mistakes they made in the first season. And it doesn't seem like they really care to. The biggest thing that, I mean, there was a lot of things. The Sauron goop was pretty funny. The whole like flopping over, how that's become a meme is pretty great. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to. We were talking about how it's even hard to be excited about talking about this. I know you mentioned just a minute ago, Lane, how it's nice that you get to talk about like Tolkien again, and you get to like just bring it up and have a hop. And I'm super glad that you guys are doing that, so we can talk about it. But we just finished our episode, and we were like, this was boring. Like the things we had to talk about, it was just not fun, and we weren't passionate about it. Like whenever we do go through it, because we just pick random topics for our podcast usually, and when we do, it's stuff that we're passionate about diving into, learning more of, or like helping other people learn more of. And that's just like, do we really have to talk about it?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I've been thinking too a lot about just like my evolution in terms of like watching this and trying. I was telling Andrew a couple of callers back, you know, how positive I want to be. I want to go in there and I want to love it. And I think Lane's right. They, you know, you guys caught us with the spoon in our mouth, and you said, "Look, that's sorry. Get that out of your mouth.
That's not peanut butter.
That's
bad.
That's not
peanut butter.
Get that out of there." Because I think a few episodes go by. The first two, I'm totally duped, and then, you know, I think it was 3 or 4 or something like that, where Lane sort of like has this sort of like moment where I don't know, man. And then I started thinking like, yeah, I got some odd feels about this too, but I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna roll with this guy. This thing's there's so much money in this. There's so much whatever. We're back to talking about it, and we're, you know, it felt good to be. It's the thing that we started our podcast for. You know what I mean? It's like the thing.
Yeah,
it's the actual show that we're like, oh my God, there's gonna be a show, dude. Like, let's freaking go. Is it gonna be young Aragorn? Is it gonna be? It could have been anything else. And I think I'm just mystified that it wasn't something else. And so now here we sit like halfway through season 1, going, this is hard to swallow. So,
and I think it is that thing too, where you do want to wait and see. I mean, you don't want to, like, you know, prejudge something based on anything really, because you don't know how it's going to turn out. There's underdogs for a reason, right? But I do think this is the perspective you come from too. I think is also very interesting, because I think I know anyway from hearing Seth talk before, like his favorite story, or one of his favorite stories. I'm not going to speak for him. In all of Tolkien's writings is Children of Húrin, right? So we've got a much older tale, like a tale that we get laid out as part of the Silmarillion, right? And then, so Sam, like, what's your favorite story? Is this like, because we talked about this, we're like, if it's Second Age stuff, if Númenóreans, if you know, like the High Elves, if these are your favorite part, like a dude like me who loves hobbits, I mean, these are like way on the peripheral. Like, they come in and they have influence, but they're not the main thing, right? I mean, they're great when they're sprinkled in, and when we kind of go, oh, there is a bigger world on the outside, because that's just kind of how I am, like that. And so for me, it was never something where I was like, it just, I mean, I've said forever, elves freak me out. They scare me. They make me, I'm very much, I'm on Baggins that way. They very much kind of unsettle me. But if this is like your jam, if these are the characters that you love, or even just the conflict that story that you're all about, then it does make it harder, because it would be like, as you're talking about Lottie, right? We were talking about how she told you, I think maybe you're probably trying to talk, maybe, I don't know if you're explaining to her how, like, you know, why people are upset.
Yeah.
But like, if she went and saw Harry Potter, like a new interpretation of it, and it was different from what she was expecting in a way that it would be like, oh my God. So that's part of it too. I'm sure, right? Like, these are legends that you guys love, and characters that are important to you, and that when you see them, because that's an important perspective too, right? Like, I think maybe that's the one that people kind of brush over. They're like, well, what's everyone so upset about? And it's like, well, these are important characters to people, and to see them kind of like misrepresented in a way, and then also like just with the way it's handled with the like the creative team, where they're just kind of like, what's the big deal? Like, quit freaking out. Just be glad there's more content, right? I mean, that's probably part of your guys' perspective as well, I would think.
Yeah, definitely. And kind of go back to what you mentioned, like, what's your favorite story? For me, it's Baron and Luthien. Like, my son's name is
okay.
Baron.
There you go.
We call him Little Bear, and Sean's a huge part of that story. And he is one bad mother. Like, he is. Dude, he's a werewolf. He literally kills. He doesn't kill Brenrod, actually. The show thinks. I mean, he pretty much does. He sends a werewolf to kill him. But like, he has this big old fight with Huon, and like, he shapeshifts. And Beth and I were just talking about, like, if orcs could just like stab him until he dies, and that's how he can die. Like, no, he could have like shapeshifted into the biggest, baddest werewolf ever and just eat them all. Like, he could have. Like, he had the power to do that, or even do a serpent and slither away, like he tried to with Huon. Like, there's so many parts of the lore in those characters, and also just the severity of his evil. Like, that's the biggest thing for me. We, like you mentioned earlier, that we've seen so much more of Halbrand / Sauron in this series, or at least this season. It seems like that's kind of their story arc. Is we're gonna look at that. But for me, it's like, you don't understand who Sauron was if you read like, not even just the Third Age Lord of the Rings, but if you read the story of Baron and Luthien and some of the other stories, like, he's he's evil. Like the thing that he does, he doesn't care about. Like poor Borland, like he pretty much tells him, hey, you can be reunited with your wife if you tell me where the company of Baron's dad is. And the guy's like, well, okay, I love my wife, want to see him. And then he's like, actually, your wife's dead, and I'm going to kill you cruelly. And so then you can be reunited with her. Like, that's Sauron. And that's first stage Sauron.
Yeah.
We're technically, I guess, second stage Sauron. So maybe he's like, oh, he's done some bad things. You know, he talked to that villager and he's thinking about sailing west of Valinor, if that's what that was alluding to in the first couple minutes of the show. Like maybe he wants to redeem himself. It's just hard for me to believe that personally.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say it feels like you mentioned, something that I've grown up reading and loving and just having such a big influence in my life, and I feel like I have to defend it. Like I feel like I have to fight because it's so important to me. The way that Tolkien had written it and the way that Christopher Tolkien had edited it, because it was so important to him, his dad's work, and it's a legacy for me that I kind of want to uphold, and I feel like it's just getting crapped on, and people are okay with that, and that's where I get really, really testy. But obviously, I don't want to be the guy that says you can't be a Tolkien fan if you like this, because I want people to enjoy whatever they are. But at the same time, it's like there's something so much better, and something I mentioned to Seth too is like whenever I tell people like come out as a Tolkien nerd, people are going to start associating, oh, like that Amazon show. I'm like no, not at all.
Yeah. No, we've talked about that too. We've kind of said like, well, part of the frustration that you have from watching the show is you're like, well, it could have been so much. Like even people who are enjoying it, I think they would have enjoyed it so much more, and not only like people who are casual watchers of television, but also, or even casual Lord of the Rings fans are just not into the lore, whatever. Like they're just not into it. Like some of the more complicated first and second age stuff, even they would. I think you're right, and they don't match up. And I even I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why did we have an actor? I mean, obviously I know why they want Sauron to be sympathetic. They want him to be Walter White. They want him to be like this good guy Sauron. Like it didn't make any sense to me that we're showing him kind of in an elven form. Why wouldn't he have been like the big, tall, menacing figure we saw in the prologue at the beginning of this season when we see him stabbed by a Dar? Like why, if he's really trying to, if he has to win over orcs, why does he look more like a candy cane than a Dar? Like, wouldn't you want to appeal to the Dar? Maybe that's part of their thing, is they're trying to show that orcs aren't dark. They're just kind of like misled and they're pitiable. And so, yeah, it's definitely a fundamental change in a character. And then I think kind of what I'm hearing you say too, Sam, is that what that does when you sort of like weaken a villain, you almost kind of weaken the heroes too. And it sort of, it does make it, I mean, it definitely makes like if these really did exist in the same universe, it definitely makes the Lord of the Rings trilogy a little more trivial, doesn't it? I mean, it makes like Ez has talked about, he's like, dude, the stranger would kick this Sauron's butt without even knowing what he's doing.
Yeah.
He would just have to summon a tornado and let it loose. Like instead of hurting Harfoots, he could destroy Sauron without even knowing what he was doing. So yeah, I don't think that I don't think having that perspective, I don't think saying what you guys are saying, presenting and like you said, like defending what Tolkien wrote, what Christopher Tolkien protected with the Tolkien estate, and with his editing and his continuing his father's work for the rest of his life. I don't think that is that comes across as like it doesn't anyway to me come across as like gatekeeping or anything like that. I think it's literally like if anything else, you're trying to push people back into Tolkien's works to kind of see for yourself and sort of kind of lament the fact that like, yeah, it's not gonna be that. It's just not gonna be that. So, and yeah, you don't have to be excited about talking about a show you don't love either. I mean, or even like, that there's nothing wrong with that at all. So, and I think it's good that we got both sides. We got people who, again, yeah, they're like, I mean, I kind of like this. This is intriguing. That's cool. Other people who are like, this is an abomination. That's good too. I think we need all that to form your own opinion about your own fandom for sure, definitely. But yeah, no, I mean, that's like the further, the more you learn, the more you're just like, oh my gosh, dude, this could have been so much more deep and meaningful. Yeah, feels misdirected for sure. Yeah.
Guys, I just want to point out that I think it was Stanley, whoever was in the comments over there. They used to
keep it
positive. I haven't seen it in a while, but you toxic mofos are on here. You know, we got Seth and Sam. You know, just I mean, toxic is all get out, dude. Come on, like.
As you're a little
instigator.
He's closeted toxic. What you are, baby. You know,
dude. Oh, it's pretty much. Yeah, let me out. I actually. Sam. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that I actually agree with everything you just said there, Lane. I think these perspectives are important because, you know, it's like the more I keep going back to my evolution with all of this, I'm just sort of, I wanted this to be successful. You know, I think everybody wanted this to be like really good and stuff. And I actually missed some early cues, or like I was, you know, like not understanding how time compressed it was, right? I didn't see I thought maybe they're going to do this over here and they're going to tell a simultaneous story over here. I really missed how time compressed it was to start. And then as the season went along, I was like, oh my God, this is really bad. But you know, I appreciate you guys, you know, giving your perspective, and we get it. We need that. Lane and I are recording on, we're doing like virtuals, right? We're going to do virtual sort of things on I think Thursday nights or something. So if you guys are free anytime, the rest of the season here, hit us up. We could get you on Zoom and kind of review an episode and just go at it, man. I mean, let's pick it apart because it deserves to be picked apart, man. If they paying these guys all sorts of money to go and do this thing, and it's just like. It's getting harder and harder for me to find something that's really positive and really cool and things. So it's just tough. Yeah.
Yeah, go check out Weller and Comfort's Sam and Seth's podcast. It's awesome. It's wonderful. And they also do this really cool trivia thing where they get on. Is it on X? Right? It's on Spaces or whatever. Seth was trying to explain it to me. I still don't know how to like use it. I sat in on one and I loved it, man. It was
you
really
guys are
cool.
on there?
Just like. Yeah, they're doing like trivia, and they've got people who listen, and you can like pop in and join the conversation, answer trivia questions. And I thought it was fascinating. I'm sitting there on the road bike, just trying to work off some of these jelly rolls. These two, I mean, they claim to be hobbits, but I think they're a little too fit to be hobbits. I'm just gonna say, I said it.
Oh, dude,
I said it behind their backs, and now I'm saying it to their face.
I kick them out of the Shire.
They're a little too fit. I mean, they might be from the stock of
but they
Bull Roar,
listen. Think about Lane. Hold on, this is well-earned comforts, right?
Okay.
That's right.
They're earning them. Right. They're earning them comforts in the gym, baby. I love it.
That's right.
But I was just sitting there and I was like thinking, it was really cool to have on, and I wasn't going to answer any questions, but it was cool to hear people jump in and like hear just these stories that they had, and then also answering trivia questions. It was a really cool format. I hope you guys keep up because it's awesome. I know it's time consuming and it's something you got to commit to, but like I think I think the world's a better place for having that out there. So
amen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I don't know how good the audio is here. If Seth would try to chime in, but he's like, I'm not even gonna try, so it's fine. But
that's okay.
Yeah, I will say. To your point, like the Thursday recaps, I'm glad you guys are going to be doing that. And for the sake of maybe talking to you guys, that would be fun to jump on. But we also kind of agreed at the end of our podcast, we're like, we don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, it's fine, man. It's not something we want our focus to be on. And that's not like, again, shying away from anyone who enjoys it and wants to talk about it. We'll answer questions if people send them in or something like that. But we're going to focus on, to Stanley's point, we're going to be positive and we're going to focus on the positive.
There we go.
But
I love that.
Things that are actually
hell yeah. And so we'll boast. We got the Moldenauer boys last commentary on Rings of Power. That's what we're going to say.
Yeah.
That's what that episode is going to be titled.
Yeah.
Boy.
The retirement from the Rings of Power from these two.
Right.
That's what I love.
That might be the case. Yeah. I
love that.
It's hard to avoid it. Obviously, everyone in our circle is talking about it and wants to talk about it, has questions.
Yeah.
And of course, you're just like, I don't know if I want to watch it, but you know. So we probably won't be jumping in too much on all that kind of conversation. But what I am very excited about, I'm sure you guys have talked about it already. We just jumped on not too long ago, so I don't know what you guys have already talked about. But dude, Red Book of West March, it's fantastic. Just what I've read so far, heard so far, I cannot wait. I am so freaking stoked for this because what you've put together, Lane, is incredible. And I know you've already got a pretty big head.
My head is huge, dude. Not quite as big as Ez's, but oh, dude, I thank you, man. I mean, honestly, the coolest thing about it is, so for people who don't know, because I don't know that I can't remember what I've shared with people. No, I haven't revealed all this stuff. Sam and Seth are going to be, they've got roles. They're Fenred and they're thrown here. And so they're going to be voicing characters in the Red Book of Westmarch concerning Hobbit's radio drama. And it's been the best part, again, is just like seeing all this hidden talent within people that, we're not professional voice actors. We're not professional writers. We're not professional, a lot of the things. But these hidden talents that we have that blow me away. And it's a cool way for us to have like our own kind of, I really do. I feel like it's a simulation of maybe, our own version of what like Peter Jackson and his team would have felt like. We're creating something inspired by the works of Tolkien. We're telling stories that haven't necessarily been told before, and we get to do it in a way that we're not doing it for money. We're not doing it because we're paid. We're not doing it for any kind of glory. Dude, selfishly, to feed that big head, I'm doing it because I love it. Like, I love getting recordings from Rebecca Robney as Arwen and being like, holy shit. Yeah. I love getting art from Dan Rossi and from Elena and being like, oh my gosh, like just every component that's come into it and how people have just said, I've asked 50 plus people and then had some people come and ask us and everyone has said, yes, I would love to be a part of this. And then not only that, but to see and like writing with Mike Charles and like some of the stuff that he has developed is incredible. We even have like possibly, no, I can't say that yet. We've got something else in the works too. And then, like Jake Hodgson, he's going to take the production level to a whole nother level. And then, it's unbelievable. So yeah, I'm glad that you guys like it. I mean, if you didn't, that'd be okay too. But I mean, I'm humbled by that. And, I'm just glad that it's brought a group of fans together to work on something that hopefully people will enjoy. If not, I'm going to enjoy it anyway. But it's it'll be a fun. It'll be when you watch the movies, you read the books, and you're a teenager, you go out and you play in the woods. At least I did anyway. You'd have like a stick as a sword, and you pretend you're Aragorn. Like Ez and I, remember Warrior Falls. Ez trying to make our own little film.
Dude, Lane almost gutted me with the sword. Just straight. It's gonna be holy.
It's gonna be that kind of experience where we get to play pretend and tell a story at the same time that's not even ours. It just points to the greatest author of all time. So yeah, dude, thank you, man.
Yeah, 100%. You guys are fantastic.
Yeah, baby. You guys too.
It's past bedtime for us for sure. But hey, I will say this: Ring of Power had one incredibly heart-wrenching moment. It brought me to tears. This was cinema for me. I was blown away that they actually put this in there and it worked the way it did. That first stage wine falling to the ground and shattering. Oh my gosh, dude! I can't imagine where Celebrimbo's head went. Like, that is acting. Oh goodness.
Thousands of years old, man. Jeez.
It cuts deep, man. That cuts deep. From the first grapes ever grown, probably, likely.
What a waste. I mean, it's kind of symbolic for the show, right? I mean, it's like
it's symbolic, yeah. Definitely, yeah.
What a waste.
All right, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hopping in, man. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you.
Yeah, brother. I love you,
Thanks,
dude.
Sam.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye. Go check out Well-Earned Comforts. Your podcast. It's great, man. If you want that deep lore, and if you want to see even Sam get stumped, Seth's the guy to do it, man. They do trivia on episodes, and Seth will ask him some kind of question that only Tolkien himself. I don't even think Tolkien knows. Yeah. And Sam just goes, "Oh, dude, is it Baron?" Right. And Seth goes, "No, it's not always Baron."
Seth, if
Sam's like, "Dang it,
dang it, it's not always Baron." Seth, I got a question for you. What color is Gil-galad's hair? What color is his hair? There are videos out there on it. There are discussion boards concerning the color of his hair. So there is an answer.
Right,
there is an answer. And I just thought the other day, and I thought, holy smokes, man, that's crazy. Anyway,
now I want to know.
Yeah, well, we'll dig into it. But yeah, man, that's just good dudes, and I love the different perspectives, and I'm happy that we've. By the way, I saw Mike Charles was calling in here. He might be our last caller if we can
get that man.
If we get him back on here, might be past his bedtime though, too. So we're kind of.
He's a wild man.
He's a wild guy.
He's a wild man.
Wild guy, dude. I have this Fenway tree pulled up here, and I just look at how old Galadriel is. And she is old. And I mean, I just cannot. It is unbelievable.
Who's almost as old as Ian McKellen? Can we get, while we're waiting for Mike or someone else to call, can we get your thoughts on Ian McKellen returning, being offered the role of Gandalf again?
Talk about some good news. Yeah. So
dang boy.
I told you, I said, I hope they run a mic out there and they have lines. And he made the joke, right? That he was like, hopefully I'm still able, get to me, get to me where you can. I don't think it's not like skip the contract, just right to, I mean, just, we don't need all that crap. He's like, I'm about to go, just get it to me now so I can read it, man. Like, I want to do this one more time. And what just an amazing human being. Like, let's go. He's Gandalf. And I would love to, I really hope they, I hope they get him, Vigo, everybody. I hope they're all on board for something pretty spectacular. So I'm excited. Are you excited? You got to be, right? This is like
I am. I think it's kind of a weird. I hope there's not too much Gollum. I'm sure there probably will be. I think like I was telling you in private, I think it's kind of I think I've said before. I think it's an odd choice for like the next move. But dude, I don't know. Like if they do it the way you laid it out all those months ago, with like the flashbacks at the council, then I'm in, man. If they can do it in a creative way that feels good and honors the story, then heck yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like getting the boys back together. Like you said, getting the band back together, the boys and girls. And I mean, but my biggest fear is like, because Ian McKellen, they kind of outed him. He said they don't have a script yet. And I'm like, geez, what are they doing? I mean, they're touring. We saw that picture of Philippa Boyens, Andy Serkis at I just pulled it up on my phone in Hobbiton. And they're hanging out in Hobbiton, but they don't have a script ready. And it's like, come on, guys, like, less play, more work. Get it written. I don't know. That's how I feel. But
yeah, I really hope they do. And I just think there's still good things to come, good conversations to have. Here definitely. We're just kind of biding our time. I mean, we really are. We joked beforehand, like we really are at the kids' table. This is literally sort of like let the kids make believe with this. I mean, let's just slap it down, like you said, playing with Play-Doh. And I was like,
Play-Doh, man.
I mean, it's expensive Play-Doh, but it
smells good too. It is. Yeah.
It is crazy. Do you feel, just last question for you, because I think we're running up here on 10:30 and we'll see. I think we might be wrapping this here. But do you think they're just trying to cram anything and everything that they can lore based into this? I mean, every Demerald Dale reference that they can get in there. Do you think they're just trying to? Do you think there's going to be anything of substance that's going to really be? I mean, they've got stuff that just is so out of place. Like Steve's idea, or I think it was Steve, about the idea that maybe this Gandalf dies or something. It's just like, even that would be, again, they're interesting things in a fan fiction, right? There's interesting things that are just completely like we know for a fact this is not as Seth and Sam will tell you, this is not how Tolkien wanted it to be. This is not what he intended. This is not what he penned, and it's not even close. It's so I guess, is there anything that
you sent that video that was like the problem with prequels, right? The problem with prequels.
Did you watch that?
And I did watch it. Yes, I did. And
well, let's talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was spot on too. I mean, you see it in every fandom, right? Mm-hmm. And I think was that the one that was showing all the different like references they were making.
Yes,
like even down to like the cinema. Film. Yes, even to so literally Rings of Power. It's like they're not even, when they do make references, it's not even to Tolkien. It's to Peter Jackson. Which is so funny because they said that's not what they were going to do. And again, it's not how you get there, because they talked about like Star Wars being influenced by like samurai movies and Flash Gordon and like these and not taking, I almost feel like when you don't take yourself too seriously, that's when you have the possibility of being something great. I think when you come in and you have that kind of like mantle of living up to something that becomes serious, it's like, so this is a weird reference, dude, but I think Finding Neverland is one of my favorite movies of all time. And Jan Barry is writing Peter Pan, and he's having trouble with it. He sits there with Dustin Hoffman, who's like one of the producers. And he says, what is it called? And he says, it's called play. It's what a play is called, a play. And he was like, we made it important. And I think that's part of the problem with the sequels, is it becomes so important that it's almost like, I don't know. Is it a fruitless venture? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, but to see how many, I didn't even realize too, like how many, because it's usually I just watch the episodes once, but how many, when that guy broke down in his video, how many, like, even just shot compositions are like a 1-for-1 reference to Peter Jackson's. It's stunning.
It's stunning. I'll leave a link down in the description. So what Lane and I are talking about is I forget the YouTuber's name. I'll put his name down in the channel, or the
Australian guy.
Yeah, and it's a fascinating thing, and it's probably over 50, maybe to 100 different, like, shot for shot, line for line references that are not Tolkien references, but they're Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings trilogy references that even Peter Jackson himself made them iconic, but they're not actually from the books. They're not, they're cool lines, but they're, like, we have characters in the Second Age quoting them. So they're actually, their whole desire here is to create a prequel for something that they didn't create. That's the other big weird thing. They're not even the same people creating it, nor are they in the same studios. They're using some of the same props, and it just feels so weird. It's not a good idea anyway, but it's they've claimed that they don't want to do that. That's what's kind of even more annoying. Is they're like, we're not trying to. Well, it's like, yeah, you are, but like, even I think about that line where Gandalf says, "If in doubt, always follow your nose," and then we get the same exact line from the stranger, and how that's not in the books. And what that is, that's literally what we've always talked about. The line that stuck with us is, "Don't forget the sniffing." Yeah,
it's literally it's also that thing where you trust your nose kind of a thing. It's like a colloquialism that we use as humans, but it also is like a little nod to what about the sniffing? Don't forget the sniffing. There's so much sniffing in the Fellowship, and he's saying it to one of the hobbits. It's Merry, who what about that fellow with all the sniffing? And so it's not even. You're right. It's not even the books. It's the movie. So yeah, I don't know, man.
I would just highly encourage people to go watch this video, because they show all the different clips, and they really break it down, and maybe even for Seth and Sam, be something funny to watch. I mean, it's not actually. It probably will enrage some people, and some people will be like, "So what? What's the big deal?" But I think they've sold it as a separate thing. Like, we're going to do our own thing here in the Second Age, and that's just not true. They're actually. They've said that we're fans, obviously, of the visual, like bringing it to life visually from what Peter Jackson has done, but we're fans from afar. You can't tell. Well, actually, this is far removed from what it's a poor version of what PJ did, and they're trying to duplicate that. Like the charge with the Southlanders, right, with Galadriel and the whole thing, and they're trying to kind of set that up as this moment. Like it's Theoden rolling in, and it's like they don't understand that there's all this buildup, and we've seen them slowly marching, and we don't actually know. Like the Gondor doesn't actually know that they're coming, so we have this dramatic build going on. That's brilliant. That's why it's one of the best things ever done in cinema, and they tried to replicate it, and it's just like it looks like a fan film compared to
it doesn't have the same kind of weight behind it too, story wise. It just doesn't.
Right. Maybe they'll try that again, and they'll say, well, look, we're going to do it. We're actually, our plan is over 5 seasons to do that 3 times. The first time's going to look like crap. The second time we're going to get close, and the third time we're going to get there. I don't know.
So it just it feels like wasted time almost, doesn't it? It feels like just wasted. It's a lot of time. You got years in between seasons, and then you've got all this work that's going into it to just be like, well, the first one didn't count.
Well, I mean, this is
why doesn't it?
Let me be honest with you. Hold on. This is what I've seen them do is from season 1 to season 2, there's no time elapsed. And so this is literally a 5-year project.
Yeah.
They're showing us the story in 5 years. They're showing us 5 years from the Second Age, and they're going to show us the last 5 years. And they expect us to accept that this all happened in these last 5 years. And that is wild.
If it even happens in that amount of time, it almost feels like the first season was a week. And the second season might be like another week. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even feel like that much time has gone by in the stories.
Right, for sure.
You know?
And I know they did say somewhere, so, like, this is one of those things that's so, they're not spending enough time. This is so rushed. The Rings of Power, like, they made all of them the last episode, right? In the season finale of season 1.
Yeah.
And they threw one single line and one visual cue to show you that there was a passage of time. Like, it was so it was like, we need 3 months, and I think he says you have 3 weeks or something. Like,
oh shoot,
you know what I mean? It's like one thing, and they're like, we got to make this somewhat believable, so let's do it in 3 months, right? And we need that line in there so nobody. And then I was reading in my therapy session yesterday where they were like, why they chose to do the 3 Elven rings first is like, well, this has all been about the elves, so. And we need to have Rings of Power. It was almost like they said the words like, the show's called Rings of Power, so we need to put them in there. And and we had
that was
anyway. So enough of that. The positive here has been that we are digging deeper into the lore, and this is actually all prep work for me, because dude, I actually have been writing down different connections between characters and really trying to do some deep dives on people, so that way when it hits me in the Silmarillion, I can make more connections. Because again, I've read it once and I fell asleep to it 3 times. Lottie just likes to put it on because she we never get out of the world being created, and then we're out. It's the perfect chapter to follow, like, every time. I've heard it. I've probably heard it 40, 50 times. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just like, she's gonna put the Silmarillion on. I'm so tired. And so, like, I love it. I'm not trying to make fun of it. Where you should start with it is like 3 or 4 chapters in, stories in, you need to like get into it. But man, I've been looking up all sorts of stuff, dude, and like looking up the different royal families and the lines and where they're all kind of connected and everything. So I've been really excited about that. So that's my positive takeaway too, is that I'm actually digging in here a bit more and getting more familiar with it, so we can go tackle that and do it on the podcast. So, and at that point in time, we will have Seth and Sam back in here because they can guide us through some of this thickness. So,
yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's the cool thing about different interests, right, and different focuses in Tolkien's world. So
the Legendarium's huge. I mean, it's great. I go to Star Wars, and like
huge.
I had a lot of friends and a lot of people in that fandom who were like, it's too much. But I've been following it like a kid at a candy shop since I was little, and to me it doesn't feel as huge, right? But like Tolkien, I started with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, then dabbled a little bit. By the time I was ready to like look into the Silmarillion and everything, it's like college is hitting, starting a new job, and you're not really, you don't really dig in there as deep. So now I feel like I'm more ready. This show has got me fired up to
baby,
to kind of talk with you guys about it and pick it apart privately. I think it was Seth or Sam said like, hey, can we get access to those text messages on Patreon or something? Wait till you hear the commentary. Wait till we get the commentary up there. It's pretty negative. So Stanley, I would just avoid anything.
Stay away. Yeah,
there are more positive things out there, and we started the episode off with like, if you're a fan of this show, this is probably not you. And I just want to be, you don't want people to come in and be brought down. Like, that's why Seth and Sam aren't doing it, right? It's like nobody wants to live in a but with this cloud over their head. So if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. It's no big deal. Move on, and once you get to the lore stuff and you're in there deep, come on back, baby, and we'll talk about it. So, all right. I'm gonna let everybody go here. Appreciate everybody. We're gonna do. I haven't talked to Lane about this, but I think we're gonna do kind of 3 big Hobbit hotlines. I was thinking like kind of maybe one here to start, one in the middle, maybe one right before the finale, because we might be doing something for the finale. We'll see, or maybe follow up to the finale. After the season, something like that. But I thought we'd do 3 for the Elven Rings, because
there we go.
See, we actually did 8 or 9 last season, so we actually started this in the right order.
That's right. Yeah,
we probably should do 7, but we're just exhausted by the show, so we're gonna do 3.
It's too many.
So
that's
anyway.
just too many.
But yeah, we do love you guys, though. Appreciate you, and I'm gonna go ahead and end the live here. So everybody over in the live, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. The phone lines.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll dial in, and we'll wrap this up. But appreciate everybody, and you guys have a great night.
Yep.